Yeah, here we go. Welcome. Hello, hello, hello. Internet world. My name is Sam Shinazi. We are live on the internet. This is mainly a broadcast for later on, but we are live. And if you want to jump on in the comment section, please do. My name is Sam Shinazi. Hello, welcome to Sharkcast Pod, a podcast dedicated to the greatest sporting club in the history of the entire universe, the mighty Cronulla Sutherland Sharks. This live stream is brought to you by Dyson Logistics, the Royal Motor Yacht Club in Port Hacking, and Jason Hawes from Crips and Crips Real Estate. And as you can see on the ticker below, if you're watching and if you're listening, we get our coffee from Mr. Paisley's in Caringbah. Exciting day, team list about to drop. And it's intriguing because we got a lot of people coming back ready. And I want to give the first shout out to Waddy, never fear, Sammy, I'm here. Well, good to see you there. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. This will be a audio podcast later on, but we want to jump on now and talk about the team as it drops. Huge game for both teams, a whole bunch of teams, actually, the Sharks. We are the most successful club in the history of the world currently this year with all of our teams in the finals. One has been eliminated, but that's okay. Sean says, do I have any bold team prediction lists? Look, I don't really, but it's going to be intriguing to see what happens with Tall Tom should he be fit, and that bench and Burns versus well, whether Billy starts or not. So a few things to talk about, and we'll get to it as soon as that team drops. And good news is I have the team. So let's get into it. Your Cronulla Sharks to play the Canberra Raiders at 7:50 p.m. on Saturday night in Canberra. Grab a ticket if you can get there. It's going to be a blockbuster. Okay. Will Kennedy is your fullback. Your wingers are Sione Katoa and, of course, Ronaldo Mulitalo. Your centers are Jesse Ramian and KL Iro. Your halves, close to the best man on the field last week, Braden Trindle, and the very good Nico Hines. Your forward pack, named Fanua Blake, Blake Brayley, captain, Toby Rudolph. Your back row, number 11, drum roll, Bill Burns holds his spot. Bill Burns, second row, with Teague Wilton and with Jesse Colquhoun at lock. Your immediate interchange bench, Britton Nickera, Sifa Talakai, Oregon Gafusi, Braden Hamlin-Welly. Your 18th man at the moment is Dan Atkinson. Your extended bench is Mawini Hiroti. Sorry about the lighting here. Jaden Beryl, Tall Tom Hazelton in 21. That number 21 keeps coming back. And Hohepa Puru in 22. This is where it gets intriguing. So, Billy Burns holds his spot. 18th man, Dan Atkinson. Extended bench of Hiroti, Beryl, Tall Tom, Hohepa. Immediate bench, Nickera, Talakai, Gafusi, and Hamlin-Welly. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Let me know what you think. Not sure about a meetup in Canberra Derby, but I'm sure there'll be a bunch happening. That's for sure. Stay tuned to everyone's channels. MD is here. Hello to Trish. I respect and love all you guys and girls. Now, for Canberra, KO Weeks is their fullback. Tamale and Jed Stewart are the wingers. Centers are Timoko and Chris. Halves are Strange and Fogarty. Front row of Papali'i, Starling, and Tapini. That's a good front row. Hudson Young is the back row with Hosking and Horsburgh. Big forward bench. The immediate bench for Canberra and 40-20 extraordinaire kicker. Look out for this. Owen Paddy, Simi Sasagi, Morgan Smithies, and Arta Mariota is the immediate bench. The extended bench is Matt Nicholson, Danny Levi, Trey Mooney, Ethan Sanders, and Chevy Stewart, local junior. So that is an interesting matchup. It's going to be a cracker. I like it, though. I'm glad we got Canberra, and I'm glad we're going to Canberra. I think there's a lot to do there, particularly the way their game went down. I mean, their mood will be one of two things. It'll be shattered or we got this. And you can't not be shattered after that. Remember in 2016, the Cowboys went to extra time. They were a different team when we played them. I'm hoping it'll be the same this week against the Raiders. It's going to be tough, though. That's for sure. Ghastly10 says, don't know how to feel about Nicker on the bench still, but his impact last week with AFB won us the game. It absolutely did. Seeing those guys run on was just so inspiring, and they really lifted. So we'll find out during the week how that's looking. At the moment, I've got no reason to think it won't change, although, as Troy says, Tall Tom gets on the immediate bench if he's 100% healthy. I would think so. I really would. So then you've got a choice between, looking down of, you would think, Kafusi or Hamlin-Welly. And Sean, that is my answer right now. Who comes in if who goes out if Hazer comes in? I think it would be Kafusi or Hamlin-Welly, although Hamlin-Welly's been in great form. Kafusi is pretty handy in that middle, so interesting. Ghastly10 says, would they be bringing Nickero back to second row next year? I would think so. Like it's not a slight on him. It's just that Billy's going so well in the team at the moment. And Britt had an injury within that time off. And over the space of 10 weeks, he's had, 3 or 4 games. So from a fitness point of view, I don't mind it, to be honest. Scott says, what do we know of Hazelton's fitness at the moment? I believe he's a chance of playing, and he wouldn't have been named otherwise. I wouldn't have thought, but I've been told by a few spies that he's definitely a chance. Not confirmed yet, but I would think just with that body he's got against the big Canberra team, they're going to look to play him. So he has to get fit and healthy, so to speak. His infection has to clear up. But we saw Hamlin-Welly with a similar thing, and it was around the same time frame, and he was back, and he was sort of fine. So we shall see. Phil Fiery says, doesn't matter who we put out there, we're going to get the job done. So Phil's pretty confident. I like that. It's going to be tough. Ghastly10 says, I like our chances. Now, the Grey Sharks said the boys are ready. Greasy Smitty's feeling confident. Clevo said the best 14 to 19 in the comp, and Clevo would know. Caitlin Grace says, I love the bench. Yep, that's all cool. Thanks for joining us over on the Insta, everyone, and on the YouTube and on the Facebook. One day we'll work out how to go everywhere. It's not a me thing, it's a them thing. All right, that is your team for the elimination final. Who's heading down? Let me know what's going on and where you're going to be around the world watching it. Not everyone can get to Canberra, so you're going to be at home. You're going to be out going to the club. What are you doing? Let me know what you're doing. You can let me know throughout the week. We're going to be doing episodes a bit later this week. We'll be pumping them out more so than earlier in the week. But get in touch with us via all the channels that you know how to get in touch with. Ghastly10 says, we have Nickera and Siffer to come off the bench. Do they have anyone that can match that? Well, let's have a look. Owen Paddy, not in that same way, but he's a very good player, but not in that same way. Sima Sasagi, Morgan Smithies, Arta Mariota. I mean, I think we get them there. I do. I'm not knocking those guys. They're all competent, but I think we do get them there. But their main pack is Papali'i, Starling, Joe Tapini, Hudson Young, Zach Hosking, Corey Horsburgh. It's a big pack. Now, don't forget, they also like to offload the ball. They've got, I think, the second most offloads in the game, and we're currently sort of fourth or fifth most allowing offloads. So it's going to be tricky against that forward pack, but we saw our forward pack last week be really, really great. So with Fanua Blake there, we can do anything. Now, Sarah, not sure, let me know how to say your name, said been some interesting calls last few games in other teams. I hope the calls go our way. I'm excited. Look, I've said it a million times. I'm not a referee basher, but the refereeing for us, I thought was terrible against the Roosters. The 10 meters was horrific, and I stand by that, being at the game live, watching it live, watching the replay less so. But then I read social media and I see the Roosters going on about all the calls they didn't get in their 10 meters. So it's like, well, I'm pretty adamant I'm right in this case in my own feelings about what I saw, but we shall see how the calls go. CJ says, exercise those demons of round 5 is just one motivator. Let's go. I can tell you that it is a very big motivator, CJ, and it's not so much that specific game, although that is part of the storyline, but they are very much trying to right some wrongs the past couple of months. They've been doing it, but they're doing it now when it matters, and what matters is this week. And then we go to Melbourne, where we didn't win. And then we play in a grand final against, you do the math, but very much righting some wrongs, motivating, exercising demons. You're very much on the right track, CJ. Absolutely. Garcia says, who cares about the Roosters? Not good enough to make it, but 100% agree with you. Abuse the 10 meters in the first and second so much. Yeah, it's not so much that I care about them. I just thought, yeah, what you're saying, it was just ridiculous to the point where, and I've said it a million times now, when Trindle set up that first try, the defender got to him before the ball did. Now, they're not that quick. So, but we're moving on, Ghastly 10. Thank you for reminding me. We're moving on, and it's not about that anymore. It's about Canberra, and it's about us in particular. So, that's what's going on there. And while I have you beautiful people, let's do something else here. Let's do something else. Sharkcast Pod live on the internet. I wish I had an assistant sometimes. So, on Saturday, we are playing another finals game at 4:15 p.m. in Townsville. The NRLW team plays against the Cowboys. 5th, Cronulla versus 4th, Cowboys. Our team looks like this. Jada Taylor, Cassie Staples, Tiana Penatani-Gray, Grace Lee Weeks, Georgia Ravix. The halves are Emma Theron and Shante Kiraratu. Forward pack is Ellie Johnston, Georgia Hanaway, Manalita Takapatolo, Tale Holmes, Jadika Tafua, and Brooke Anderson at lock. Immediate bench is Tyler King, Rhiannon Byers, Stephanie Faulkner, and Marie Kiraratu. That's a great bench. And the extended bench is Nakia Davis-Welsh, who is unlucky not to be in the team. It's Jacinta Carter, very unlucky not to be in the team. Lecky Leilua, Monique Donovan, and Tia Jordan Vasilowski. So that's a good-looking team, so to speak. Excuse my words there. That's a very good, strong team named. And I reckon we get them. Kira Dibbett, 5'8" for the Cowboys. They're a good team. They did finish above us, but I think we get them, and it's going to be exciting to watch both teams the one evening. That's awesome. Let's go. And also Jersey Flags around, Harvey Norman women's teams around. So it's a very exciting time for the Cronulla Sutherland Sharks. Men's team. 7:50 kickoff. First elimination final. GIO Stadium. Kennedy, Katoa, Ramian, Iro, Mulatalo, Trindle, Hines. Fanua Blake, Brayley, Rudolph, Burns, Wilton, Colhoun. Immediate bench, Nickera, Talakai, Kafusi, BHU. Extended bench, Atkinson, Hiroti, Beryl, Tall Tom, Hohepper. We're not missing too many there. There are no excuses now. It is time to rock and roll. And I like our chances against this team. They're going to be tired. They're going to be emotional. That crowd is going to be on edge. We already know a bunch of Sharks are going to be down there. They've already sold out a few bays of Sharks fans. There'll be Sharks fans all over the place in that stadium. So make sure you get down there, get loud and proud if you can be there. Of course, not everyone can be there, and that is totally okay as well. I do want to say, look out for Owen Paddy off the bench in his 40-20s. Look out for Owen Paddy off the bench with his 40-20s. And my little office space getting invaded here by people. Big forward pack. But I think we can do it. We stay in our current form. I love Jesse Colhoun at lock. Like, he's just like having another prop, right? Now, shout out to everyone watching live on the internet. Appreciate you all. We will turn this into a podcast later on. More podcasts coming, especially later in the week. Be patient. We'll get to you with lots of Sharks content. Can't wait to do it. And we'll have a ripper of a Saturday too, I reckon, as well. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know how it's going to go down. Get in touch with us, sharkhousepod@gmail.com. You can go on our website, sharkhouse.com.au, and you can leave a message there. You can leave a voicemail. You can leave a written message. You can DM us on most of the socials, and we'll find them. And huge thank you to everyone who's been signing up everywhere for Instagram and YouTube and all that stuff. We really appreciate it. It's very noticeable. We really appreciate it. Keep on doing it. Keep spreading the word. Shark House Pod. We want to take over the world more than we have already. Let me know who your X Factor is going to be for the Sharks. Let me know how you think they're going to go against us. But I like our odds here. I like our chances. Coming off that week that they had, they thought they were home. They played, 14 more minutes than they should have physically against a very good Brisbane team, a physical Brisbane team. It got heated. The crowd was riding the emotions. It would not be good to be in those shoes last week for Canberra. They do get another shot, which is their right, and good luck to them. But I'm actually much preferring going here than to Brisbane. I think Brisbane are a harder team to defend against. They throw the ball around a lot more than Canberra. Canberra are kind of like us, but not as flash as we can get. And I like that. And it will be one of the forwards. But coming off a great win against Canterbury where we bashed them and a great win against the Roosters where we bashed them, there is no reason to think that we can't get the job done again. John says he's going to be at Nullarbor Roadhouse. Or he's at Nullarbor Roadhouse. We'll be in Esperance on the weekend. I hope Foxtel Go works. We can beat a tired Raiders side. I hope it works too for you, John. And I think you're right. I don't think we can rest on the fact that they're going to be tired, obviously. But we did see that in 2016, we played the Cowboys after their big extra time match against the Broncos. Was it the Broncos? I think it was. And we got them pretty good. And there were reasons for that. So hopefully, John. Sarah says, hope Brayley has his fast running boots on. I hope he does too. And I think it'd be a great battle between him and Starling, him and Owen Paddy, who I keep mentioning for some reason. Hopefully it doesn't come back to haunt us. But both dummy halves for Canberra are really good. So we need to keep an eye on that. And they do offload the ball a lot. We need to stop those. And we did a very good job against the Roosters stopping that. You would have noticed the wall that they built, third man in, and I feel like it'll be a very similar game plan this week, playing the Raiders. Got to shut down Papali'i, shut down the captain, Joseph Tapini. Hudson Young will be frustrated. Like, we just can't fall into those mind games with Ronaldo. He's got to know when to throw him, when to hold him, when to fold him, stick tight. I believe in Ronaldo, but it's a good test for him as far as his attitude goes. We've seen it work this year. This is the game where you want to control those emotions where you can, where you need to, because there's enough hotheads in the other team that will fire up and they'll get into trouble. And it's okay if Ronaldo plays along, but you don't want to be in the bin for things we saw on the weekend in the Canberra game. So big test for the Sharks, but they're in a really good headspace. The coach is absolutely firing. He's fired up. He's working long, hard hours to get this right, and all the coaching staff are. And I'm pretty excited. It's week 2 is not as good as week 3. Wait till we get to week 3, then we'll all be absolutely on edge and pumping. Not that we're not on edge now. It's all elimination, obviously, but it's a good place to be. Cronulla Sharks, modern Cronulla Sharks is a very good club to follow because you're always going to be amongst it. And I know that we have only won one and people get frustrated by that, but I'm pretty happy with where we're going at the moment and who we're doing it with. Danny says the Shark Bite Collective salute. Okay. Thank you, Danny. Appreciate you. Hope you're well. Jay has joined the feed. Shark1969 says hi, and I say hello back. Jay says in 2022, the Sharks had extra time and golden point against the Cowboys and couldn't get up the following week against South. I think the same things happens here with the Raiders. It's a good point. Just trying to think back to that. Oh, yeah, of course. Yep, gotcha. And Jay also says Hines, Ronaldo, and co, who said the Sharks should get more respect. This is the game to win. Some of that from the media. Yeah, that was interesting, wasn't it? Nico and Ronaldo almost at the same time, it seems. Well, Nico was after the fact, but Nico, he said some big words, and I hope that they don't come back to kind of bite anyone. But I mean, he's got a great point because on the weekend we saw the coverage and we saw that the Sharks got no respect from either of the main TV coverage, and there's not much you can do about that, but they should have been speaking about us because it was a great win against the Roosters. It was all Cronulla. It wasn't them. It wasn't them playing bad. The Sharks played really good, and we deserve that respect. And, you know, for Nico to come out and say that, I back him. He's my halfback, but I probably would have held off on that, but I like where he's going. He is free to say what he wants, and there's no problem there at all. Jay says we haven't won a week 2 finals match since 2002. We haven't won 2 finals games in a row, dude, since 2016. So I think it's 3 since 2016. So we know our record, or if you don't, appreciate Jay jumping in with those stats, but it's not a great finals record overall for the Sharks. But I don't think the coach is really worried about that. He's worried about this week coming. And Danny says, that's my group. Love what you do. Up Cronulla, the Shark Bite Collective salute. Okay, cool. Thanks, Danny. Send me some links. DM me some links or something, please. In case I'm not across it, I probably am, but thank you. Simon says Bradley's running game has been superb the last few months. I can't wait to see what he unleashes this weekend. Yeah, I liked it on the weekend too, Simon, where he just didn't overpush it because we were wanting more from him on the weekend. It wasn't kind of there because of their weird, I'm going to get back 3 meters only system. And so he didn't really push it. He pushed it enough to try and get the penalties. The penalties didn't come. And so he just focused on what was needed to be done. But yeah, his running game has been unbelievable. He's been lights out the past couple of weeks as captain. He's been lights out all year. He's been lights out for a couple of years now. He's won the Players Player for the last 3 years or something. He's won our award, I think, 2 or 3 years in a row, or maybe for the second or third time. You guys and girls know how I feel about Brayley. He's the best. I'm so happy for him. And he needs to keep doing it, but just tremendous year he's having. CJ says, I hope we can shut up some critics by going deep this year. Absolutely. Let's annoy everyone. Let's annoy them. They don't believe in us. That's okay. We don't believe in them. You know, the tide is turning. I'll say that. The tide is turning about opinions and who says them and what they mean in the wide world of people watching, not watching, hearing about it. Like, yeah, it doesn't really matter in a day, but it is noticeable. And the coach notices it, the players notice it, the clubs notice it, the fans know it. So I'm with you there. Thanks for that, Danny. I'll check that out. Appreciate that. I'll put that up for everyone if they want to take a screenshot or something. That's Danny's group. Always happy to spread the word about other good folks. Jay says, scrub that stat. We did win in 2018. Yep, that was against the Panthers. So all good. Is Hazleton out of hospital? I believe he is. I believe the treatment he was getting is way less than what it was. So they've named him. He's a chance. I personally think he'll play. That's not from any kind of knowledge from anyone, just an opinion. But I don't think he'll play if he's not ready to go. And you saw that with Britt on the weekend. They weren't ready to put him straight back in. They're going to play it smart. Jay says we look more composed with Bradley as captain. The level of growth since he got schooled by Sam Healy really seemed a turning point this season. Yeah, not sure if they're related, as in the situation and the change. Maybe it was a wake-up call. I think that as a team, post-Brisbane, and it's been widely documented that was when the change came, individually and collectively. They're a different team, and they need to be, because they were just giving up games they shouldn't have given up, including this one in Canberra. So it's going to be interesting to see how that affects this game, because I know it will be brought up. Not to a great degree, but it will definitely be brought up. Hamish says, up the boys in the black, white, and blue. Hamish BB Gaming, I should say. Thank you very much. So, Sharks women's team, NRLW, 4:15 p.m. Sharks men's team, NRLW, 7:50 p.m. It's going to be a big Saturday, and Flegg is that day, and Harvey Norman women's is that day too, I'm reasonably sure, at Cogra. So it's going to be a bumper of a day for the club, and let's see how far we can go with all 4 games. Sharks name, Billy Burns, 11. Britt is now the first man on the extended bench. Tall Tom is on the extended bench. So somehow, if Tall Tom is ready, he's got to squeeze in between Britton, Talakai, Kafusi, and BHU. Trish says, hope to see everyone in Canberra. It sounds like you'll be seeing a lot of people in Canberra, and that is awesome. We need to really deck that place out in blue. It's a cool place to go watch footy. They really get into it. It's not that dissimilar to Cronulla in the vibe. Very parochial and pretty passionate fan base. So get ready for that. But we got one too, and we're ready to rock. We're pretty hungry. Where there's a feeling in the air, especially amongst the players, that it's time. So don't want to heap too much pressure on them for one game, but it is elimination time. So we'll see how that goes. It's a great time of the year. Jay says I get a feeling we might be the Eels of 22 and make a run to the grand final. Very similar. The Eels copped it for a few seasons before making that grand final. The Sharks' record against the Raiders is 4 wins and 3 losses in the finals. That's correct, Jay. Thank you for that. I've also been doing my research, and I can confirm that is correct. 7 appearances in finals, a couple in the 1 year in the Super League year, but it's currently at 4-3. So we'll get all those stats and figures to you later in the week. We'll do some more kind of research about what's important to you guys and girls and what's not, and we'll do a preview. Definitely going to do some previews, so stay tuned to that. A couple of things in the works, which we're excited about. Sharks playing 7:50 p.m. If you don't have a ticket, I don't know if it's sold out yet. It might be sold out. It'll be sold out by the time, I don't know, next few days, you would think, if it's not already. So if you want a ticket, make sure you grab one. You don't want to be missing out if you were hoping to be down there. Also, there's a bus going down there, or there might be more than one bus, but there's a bus going down there leaving I believe Shark Stadium. It's a club-run bus. A few groups are involved with that, so it's all online. And if you don't, for some reason, have access to that, shoot me a DM and I'll get it to you. But you should be able to find it easy enough. And that's kind of fun, especially when we win. The bus of dreams is fun when we win, and we'll just leave it at that because we are going to win. So if you need transport, again, I'd jump on that pretty quick. I'd jump on those tickets pretty quick if that's not already sold out, so to speak. Not sure how many buses they will have or how many they're planning on having. So it's a fun time, and the club's doing their best to keep up with it all. And I'm doing my best to keep up with it all and having a ball doing it. What a great year it's been. It's been up, it's down, it's all around. Sharks home record. I know we're not playing at home again this year, just something topical. Sharks home record this year. Outstanding. Let's go. Let's go. All right. That's what's going on. Get your bus tickets if you choose to go by bus. Get your ticket for the game if you're going to the game. Wear your colours. Represent the club well. Don't be one of those fools that were fighting in the crowd last week. A couple of fights. I know one was widely streamed, so to speak, and was probably circumstantial to the opposition fan base as well. But some near me, they were all Cronulla fans, couldn't handle the old glonk glonk and being real douchebags. So don't be those people. Represent this club, represent this podcast with pride, but don't be one of those. Don't be one of those people. No matter what goes down, be bigger, be better than that. I don't need to tell you that. I'm just telling you that because I feel like I want to. Because I saw some nastiness last week. Only a little pocket. But it was enough for me to go, this is BS. Don't be like that. If you can't handle your booze, don't drink. Now, enough of the social commentary. Let's go. Sharks. I love this club so much. I love all you listeners and viewers. I really appreciate you all the Sharkcast people do, everyone who's involved. And we can't wait to do more for you this week. So stay tuned, subscribe to however you watch or listen to this, whether it's a podcast app, whether it's social media, whether it's YouTube. The only thing I will say is sometimes we put out episodes and we do not promote them. So if you don't know it's there and you're not subscribed, you'll miss out. That's why I'm heavily on subscribing if you can. Danny says, be as respectful as we are. Show them we're the best fans in NRL. Absolutely. And it doesn't mean you have to be angels. It just means don't go next level on anyone, no matter what the circumstance. If there's trouble, get security, get the cops, walk away, be those people. Obviously sometimes that's not possible. I don't want to get too deep on this. We're live streaming, I'm ad-libbing. But I do stand by what I said. Particularly near me, there was some ugliness, and it was only a small group and just carrying on like morons, and I don't care for it. So that's that. Sharks play 7:50 Saturday, NRL dub 4:15. Flag Harvey Norman's earlier in the day, I believe from Cogra, unfortunately. But enjoy your week. Enjoy your Team List Tuesday. We'll talk to you real soon, so don't go anywhere. We'll be talking to you soon. Appreciate you all. And until we speak again, up. Cronulla. Let's go. Bye-bye.